Hi, students in English 10 with Mrs. Goodale. This is Mr. Much here. I'm going to show you what I think is the easiest way to find newspaper articles for your research-based project, the newspaper scavenger hunt. You're looking for local and or national newspapers, online articles from a wide variety of sources, and choosing the 3 strongest articles that you find. Okay, so I think most of you are going to start with Google, and I'm going to show you why I don't think that's a good idea for this assignment. So first of all, your article should relate to these themes here. So these are some of the keywords you'll probably want to enter in your search. And also it's from your lifetime. So if you think of events throughout the world that relate to the faithful spy and these key terms here, we could go to Google, for instance, and search perhaps something like the Middle East war, perhaps, and what were some of the keywords here? Let's choose sacrifice, and we'll add that to our keyword search. Okay, so from here, we are looking for news articles, right? So we can get to news articles by clicking on the news section here, and we get some news articles from recognized publications like the Washington Post. Not sure about these two. Radio station apparently, or a TV station. The Guardian, not local, that's England. Washington Examiner. Middle East Forum. So you see you're getting news articles, but they're not necessarily newspapers. We haven't even begun to look at the quality of the content or the reliability of it. So the only thing you can do with Google from then is also adjust, because remember, you do want articles from your lifetime. So if you go into tools, actually, you can choose recent, and then you could also expand it to, suppose you were born in 2004. And then you could go all the way up to 2020. And then you have that date range you can see right here. So now you're at least looking in the right place, but again, you have all these, Forbes, recognized publication, but not necessarily a newspaper. Esquire, same deal, it's a magazine. Democracy Now!, The Atlantic, other magazine type publications. Al Jazeera, not local. There we go, Washington Post, there's a news article. So this is why I don't think Google is going to be your best bet. So I'm going to show you what to do that could be a lot easier for you. I think everybody's heard me speak about researchIT, and I know that can be tiresome to hear about, but in this case, I genuinely think this is one of the better places to go. So we start off with researchit.org. You get this familiar looking format here. So we're going to go to 4 high schools. And then if we scroll down a little, most of us go to advanced search from this point. We're going to avoid that. We're going to look at a smaller segment of this collection of databases. We're looking at newspapers and images. See resources below. We have a listing of newspapers, and this is something you're not going to find through Google. You won't have this advantage. A lot of them are blocked behind paywalls, or you may not be able to go back as far in their archives as we can with researchIT. So researchIT Newsstream is a collection of newspapers. Now sometimes you have an access issue. You're going to come to a screen that says barcode required. Now the document that Mrs. Goodale shared with you, Faithful Spy News Sources. Down here we have a barcode. You can copy and paste that. And this is just temporary. Normally we shouldn't do this, but we definitely need access to get this project done. You can paste it in there and hit login, and then we have access. And by the way, right now we're looking at the databases. Basically, it's the archives for the Hartford Courant, the Los Angeles Times, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and the Washington Post. So great collection of local and national newspapers there, and we're strictly looking at their news articles. So we can go back to the keywords that we used for Google, and I'll just copy those. And then here, we can paste them in and search. It's going to look for full text articles. Los Angeles Times, New York Times, all newspapers. So you really can't beat this. There's further modifications we can make, limiters. We can sort over here we can select strictly newspapers. Get rid of the magazines, the blogs, the podcasts, websites, etc. So let's click on newspapers. And then on top of that, let's switch the date range. Enter a date range. We'll go from, say, 2004 to 2020. And just take a look at the format here. Let's say 2004-01-01. So January 1st, 2004. And then we'll go to sometime around today. Let's say April 12th. And hit update. So now we're only including those articles. Now we're down to 1,710 articles. And on top of that, down here, you can now look at a listing of subjects if you want to make it even easier to your liking, something that relates to your recollection of the faithful spy. And you could further limit it by that. Google won't let you do that. So that's great. And then on top of that, document type, we could strictly look at news articles rather than commentaries or editorials. So let's go to news. And now you can start picking any one of these articles. You can click right on the title to get the full text. And just as a reminder, because you're in the ProQuest database or from researchIT, you want to make sure that if you want to get back to this article, choose all options over here. If you click on that, right at the top you'll see the permalink, and you can copy this, and that way you can get back to this article. So save that, and then of course when you want to cite it, just click on the citation and switch it to make sure it's on MLA 8th edition. Cha-ching, there you go. So that's all you need to do, and there's your newspaper article in its entirety. And then if you want to see the results again, back to results. And you can start at that list again. Modify your keywords if you need to. And just keep looking. Remember to use the limiters over on the left. And of course, email me if you have any questions about this. Thanks and good luck.